it is amazing that you can actually put some things together and get some good results. The nutritional and integrative medicine. In other words, they can and should work together. Doing what God proposed in his Garden of Eden and doing what man has chosen to make an academic work out of can go hand in hand. Because I like that authority in nutritional and integrative medicine and psychoneural immunology. And it says he has traveled the world volunteering at clinics for displaced people, also a National Health Service Corps. He studied at the Baylor College of Medicine and the University of Utah Medical School. He served an active role as a member of the editorial board of the board of the Utah Medical Association. He teaches at University of Utah and also is chairman of the Utah Medical Association Environmental Committee. So, not just picking up any dude to help us get this show going, but wanted you to know that diabetes, according to Dr. Rodier, is the most spreading disease in the United States. And millions of victims don't even know they have the disease. Poor diet and lifelong choices are largely the blame. Get the untold truth and protect yourself against this deadly disease on this broadcast. The answers are out. The answers are there for us. And one of them, supplementation can help fight, even prevent diabetes. So supplementation. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because Remedy This Naturally is a supplementation store where we can use and take the views of individuals who have worked, learned, and chose to make natural remedies a way of life. And the natural part about it is Garden of Eden, folks, where God made the plant kingdom and all the things available before he stuck together the garden and the people. And with the people, he wanted them just to bask in the sun. We try our best to have as much of the natural law of what's going on as we can, but we just can't do it in our own knowledge, wisdom, and understanding unless we put together what God has already ordained us to be able to do and use as a means of helping. So, we now know that sugar has overwhelmed our bodies, undermined its most important functions. So, that is a truth that we need to talk about on this broadcast. Number 2, inflammation is the root of diabetes and other disease. And that's plural, diseases. It must be controlled. We got to get this diet that we call a diet in the United States under control. Number 3, nature holds the answers to our diabetic questions. So, and I keep saying that over and over again when I keep talking about the Garden of Eden and man and putting man where it needs to be under the subjection of God's authority. Number 4, controlling our blood sugar may not only prevent diabetes, it can also reduce disease and dramatically enhance our quality of life. Ooh, that's powerful, folks. Those 4 statements are really, really powerful. Sugar has overwhelmed our bodies and undermined our most important functions. That's truth number 1. Truth number 2, inflammation is the root of diabetes and only disease. The other disease, it must be controlled. Number 3, nature holds the answer to our diabetic questions. And 4, controlling our blood sugar may not only prevent diabetes, it can also reduce disease and dramatically enhance our quality of life. Now that we know, you know that I have shared with you, and Dr. Rodier has done his lot of research and says, now, hey, look, you folks here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and surrounding areas, towns, cities, I'm here to help you be set free. Now that you know these things, you may wonder where and how to begin fighting inflammation, watching the blood sugar, eliminating toxins, and halting reliance on drugs. Okay? It's rough to do with diet and exercise alone. Okay, let's make a statement. Let's hold on to that. Diet and exercise are not the only things that are necessary in helping control diabetes, okay? I'm delighted to tell you that the answers are simple, natural, and proven, and start with 5 basic supplements. Start with a basic foundation of what we need. 5 supplements going to help answer some key questions in your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Fighter number 1, chromium with glucose tolerance factor. If you come in and you actually pick up a bottle of chromium from Nature Sunshine store, and you get the Nature Sunshine product, get it right in a minute, that is called chromium, and it's called chromium GTF, glucose tolerance factor. So if we got that taken care of, and I have a whole chapter over here on just that alone. Chromium picolinate, a complementary nutritional therapy for diabetes. And I think it's a good point to go to get number 1, and that is the fighter for diabetes and chromium with glucose tolerance factor. All right, take that information and come over here, and there's a basically half a page small print. Got to put these readers on to make sure we see what we're reading and I read the right thing to you, right? And this talks about chromium picolinate, and you can also talk about the GTF. It said it is a nutritional supplement that can help control diabetes. As the name implies, it is a combination of 2 different substances, chromium and picolinate. Chromium is a mineral that helps to increase the efficacy or efficiency of insulin. Okay, so we know his blood sugar, insulin is important. The hormone that controls blood glucose levels. So chromium, and we're talking about getting it to allow chromium picolinate is an amino acid derivative that allows the body to use chromium much more readily. They're buddies. They help each other. And it's important for it to do that. So, chromium GTF. All right. And the shape of individual insulin molecules is important to the hormone's effectiveness. If the molecule maintains their proper shape, the insulin can effectively transport glucose into the cells where it is needed. Without chromium, insulin molecules become misshaped and can no longer serve as an effective transportation system for glucose. Without an effective transportation system, glucose builds up in the bloodstream, starting a chain reaction that eventually leads to diabetes. Okay? Can't you understand that? Got it all straightened out? Scientists have long known that chromium is a vital nutrient, but not until chromium was combined with picolinate, why was that so hard? Okay, if you make it with picolinate, was an effective means of providing supplemental chromium developed. In the body, chromium takes the form of an ion, a particle with an electrical charge. The charge is repelled by the body's cells, making it difficult for chromium to enter the cells. Picolinate is a chelator, a substance that can bind with picolinate joined together. The chromium repelled charge is done without the body's cells that are able to accept the chromium. So it's a buddy system. I don't have all the answers. You have answers. We put the two of them together and we can start making things that help one another. That's my liquid chlorophyll. Okay. The effectiveness of chromium picolinate has been tested on individuals with a number of different health problems, including diabetes. Research shows that most people with diabetes experience a decline in blood glucose levels after they start taking daily chromium picolinate as a supplement. As a result, it is believed that chromium picolinate may be able to help many people with diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, to control their blood sugar levels. This in turn would allow them to cut back on their intake of insulin and other drugs, likely resulting in fewer side effects. Furthermore, since improving the action of the picolinate can help reduce obesity, this means that it may enable some people with type 2 diabetes to lose enough weight, listen carefully, to stop taking drugs entirely. I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay? Furthermore, since improving the action of insulin also helps the body to use as a fuel. Chromium picolinate can help reduce obesity. This means that it may enable some people with type 2 diabetes to lose enough weight to stop taking drugs entirely. Okay? And of course, you got to work with your doctor. And you just may be educating them when you're talking about this. I have switched, and I need to tell you this, I've switched from Dr. Rodier unto this book here, Prescription for Nutritional Healing. And in here, there's a section on diabetes. In here also, in the section of diabetes, is a page in here on chromium picolinate as a complementary nutritional therapy for diabetes. So it's letting you know there is some natural way that we can work with this stuff. Okay? And now, however, I know it's too good to be true, right? However, it is not recommended that people with diabetes simply go out and buy chromium picolinate supplements and start taking them. Anyone who has diabetes, especially type 1, must exercise caution with this supplement. Its effects on insulin requirements are very real. Blood sugar levels must be monitored carefully, and the appropriate dosage of insulin and or any other drugs adjusted as needed in response. Otherwise, a potentially dangerous insulin reaction may occur as a result of too little glucose in the blood. Anyone interested in using chromium picolinate for the treatment of diabetes should first seek the advice of a qualified healthcare professional, preferably a nutritionally oriented physician who has experience in this area. What my doing here is to just help you know that there are ways for us to be able to deal with what's going on, and that there is a highly necessary need for the person who does the natural stuff instead of the person that does the pharmaceutical stuff. It's got to be a meeting of the information and do what's in the best interest of the client or patient. Okay? So, talked about GTF chromium, and there was a testimony Joyce Montgomery did, and she said, my blood sugar was running between 120 and 140. I had been feeling terrible, like I was going to pass out before dinner. I was headachy, fatigued, and shaky. I took chromium with glucose the GTF. And 2 hours later, my blood sugar was 95. The chromium was the only explanation for the quick drop. I now take it every day and feel wonderful. It has even controlled my craving of sweets. Okay? And thank you, Joyce, for sharing that. All right. So type 2, diabetes, diabetic fighter number 2, carbohydrates reduction combination. Let's face it. Get this so I can get a better vision here. We're a society of addicted to carbs. And even if you make quantum leaps cutting down on bread, pasta, cookies, and your favorite candy, being true low carb is one tough job. That's why I strongly recommend a carbohydrate reduction combination designed to actually prevent the digestive of starches, a leading cause of high blood sugar. It's miraculous. And not only does it help control diabetes, but most of my patients using the supplement find it easier to lose weight. Here's how it works. The carbohydrate reduction combination is a non-stimulant amylase inhibitor composed of purified white kidney beans. Yes, kidney beans. This substance has been proven to naturally, safely prevent the body's absorption of starches, meaning you metabolize fewer carbohydrates so your weight stays down and sugar from the starch stays out of your bloodstream. A recent study shows that 2 of these remarkable capsules taken a high starch meal can block absorption of 50% of the meal's carbohydrates. A combination study, or they did a companion study, tracked users and found that it had been not uncommon for participants to lose as much as 10 pounds a month using the supplement with no change to diet or exercise. And you know how we are. We don't want to make no changes. We want things just the way they are. So, diabetes fighter number 3, pancreas support combination. Okay, and you're welcome to write these down. You're welcome to look at get more information and share this with you. Happy to do that. A healthy pancreas is at the core of diabetes-free living. But many diabetics or pre-diabetics have a pancreas that can no longer produce insulin at all, or it produces ineffective amounts. It is exhausted, stressed, and weak with inflammation or repeated sugar spiking. You can revitalize and support this all-important organ with pancreas support combination that includes, and in this combination, there are 14 complementary herbs. They all work together in harmony in trying to help rebuild and strengthen our pancreas, which is being beat up by our American diet. Okay, you ready for them? You gonna write them down? Okay. Golden seal, to boost immunity and help regulate blood sugar. And I was saying some people will take golden seal by itself, but you got to be careful of that, because golden seal, you don't want to drop the blood sugar too low. So if you got something else and you got 13 other supplements going along with the golden seal, it's a little more kinder in helping the body to adjust and rebuilding. Okay, it's kind of like somebody, spring comes. We've had a sedentary lifestyle for the winter, and all of a sudden we get out and start doing too much raking leaves, or that's in the fall, but in the springtime getting ready to do some stuff. And we just don't give our body a chance to rest, relax, and do what it needs to do to be taking care of itself. So the first item of the 14 is we got Golden Seal, and that's to boost immunity and help regulate blood sugar. Juniper berries to amplify the benefits of Golden Seal while aiding the liver, the gallbladder, and urinary tract. So you got juniper berries and Golden Seal working as buddies. And then they also, while the two of them are working together in the pancreas, then we can say that the liver, the gallbladder, and the urinary tract are going to also benefit because they like being part of the group. Okay, next, garlic. To lower blood fat and sugar while increasing the levels of insulin in the blood. And this garlic, the stuff that people don't want you to eat because it makes you smell. But did you notice that it says to help lower blood fat and sugar while increasing the level of insulin in the blood? That's 3 items of the 14. White oak bark, mullein, slippery elm, marshmallow root, and yarrow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Got some more in to go along with that. There's also licorice, capsicum, cedar berries, dandelion, nettle to support the above herbs while just helping with immunity. It aids it. Digestion and even glandular function. Just remember the herb P14. P14. When you come to remedy this naturally, Nature's Sunshine product. So let's just go through them again. The last ones I kind of clumped together, but we got the Golden Seal, boost immunity, help regulate blood sugar. Juniper berries to amplify the benefits of Golden Seal while aiding the liver, gallbladder, and urinary tract. Okay, the other one, garlic, to lower blood fat and sugar while increasing the level of insulin in the blood. Now, let's clump these together here. White oak bark, mullein, slippery elm bark, marshmallow root, yarrow flowers to soothe and support inflamed body tissues, especially in respiratory and digestive systems. Okay, then we also need to support helping build the immune system, helps with digestive system, and even the glandular system. And those herbs are licorice, capsicum, cedar berries, dandelion, and nettle. And men, you may want to pay attention to that nettle when it comes to the prostate. Okay. Whose testimony? Okay. Okay. Mary says, I was having all sorts of trouble controlling my blood sugar, even with medication. I tried the pancreas support combination and the chromium, and since then I have been off all my prescriptions and I've had great control and great HGALC and whole time also lost 20 pounds. Whew, that's shake-a-beanie tree. Shake-a-beanie tree. Okay, now the diabetes fighter number 4, blood sugar combination, and it has genemia, fenugreek, bitter melon, nopal, banana, bilberry, chromium, and vanadium. Okay, and that's going to be diabetes fighter number 4, blood sugar combination. So those are some of the things that really are good. And this stuff here is excellent. And they have it, a little pack, tear it open, pour the chlorophyll in the bottle. I usually have drinking or drunk where I've got the water up to this right here, about where the bottle starts curving in. And I'll put that, shake it up, and I just feel so good with how it rejuvenates and regenerates. Okay. Now, blood sugar combination and control clearly in the solution to a chasm of health problems with diabetes and early mortality leading the way. Because we're now drawing the link between blood sugar and longevity, keeping glucose in check has a whole new level of importance. Regulate your glucose with a quality blood sugar combination that includes these natural ingredients. Just ask Remedy This Natural when you go in. I want the product you got that has genemia in it. Research speculate that this miraculous plant extract actually helps repair a damaged endocrine system, including the pancreas. It also considered a hypoglycemic, meaning it can decrease blood sugar levels. And blood sugar levels can be decreased. Bitter melon, fenugreek, nopal, and banana. These combat insulin resistance. The herbs help fight in the cells, helps them to accept the sugar, getting it out of the bloodstream and putting it to work as energy. Bilberry. This is powerful antioxidant that protects valuable organs. This is one of the main herbs for eyes. Then the other two things that I know that bilberry is really good to is helping in the kidneys and also in the stomach. So there are other things. It's just like you. You may be doing one job. You may have one quote-unquote talent that people knows, but you also have other benefits that are good to know, because sometimes we have to get out of our little box and use some things outside of it as well. And, chromium and vanadium together, those are trace minerals that lower blood sugar by boosting the insulin receptors. They may be taken with chromium with GTF. So it's good to know. Let's go right bumping along here. I was going to give you a testimony. Okay. Here, this is from C. Joseph Bilot. Last April, I was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic. I embarked on an aggressive new diet, eliminating all forms of sugar, white flour, and milk. Thanks to Mary Jane Lutz, I replaced sugar with stevia, and by adding the blood sugar combination supplements 4 to 5 times per day, I rarely, if ever, encounter any problems. Even when I am under stress, when I wake up, my members are usually between, our members are numbers, 94 and 112. I don't even want to be without my blood sugar combination. Yeah, good job with that. Okay? Now let's talk about a single plant. Used to be, probably 10 years ago, this was one of the hot items. Everybody was getting us some of this. And we still sell it as a good product. But when you got so many different, you're looking at 100 different items on the shelf, and you say, well, I don't know what these are for, and you don't want to do all the research. So get your pencil and paper. I'm going to talk to you about Noni, N-O-N-I. That's a diabetic number 5 in this particular session we're doing today on February the 5th, 2024. So that's when this is being broadcast live at WHIG TV, the superstation. Noni is hot in the natural health arena right now. And that was when Dr. Rodier did this book. This book actually goes back 02, 12, 14. We're pushing 15 years or so. And is being praised for, it just does so much that it is said it can be used about for any and every ailment. I know my mama's favorite saying was, well, Eva, what's that good for? She says, I don't know what it's good for, but it works for this. So, diabetes included. I'll read that sentence again since I got off track. And is being praised for getting rid of just about every ailment, diabetes included. And although Noni may seem too good to be true, the results are incontrollable, convertible. In short, it works. Noni. Noni juice is derived from the Morinda citrifolia plant, cultivated in tropical Polynesia. The pure juice benefits many body systems, including the digestive, intestinal, respiratory, and immune. So we've got major hit on what's going on in us that we need, and that is the digestive system. And the bottom line, what I say on that all the time is, if you can't digest it, you can't assimilate it. You can't assimilate it, you can't get the benefit from it. So you got to have a good working digestive system. Intestinal system. Got to make sure when your small intestines gets it to work with it, that it puts it to use, and when it gets to the large intestine, it continues to reach out. Respiratory system. If you can't breathe, you can't get along too good, right? And immune. Got to build the immune system up to be able to deal with what's hitting us on the left and the right side. This is primarily so because noni juice is an ideal antioxidant. And one neat thing about this, selenium. And its phytonutrients deeply nourish the body's cells, the organs, and the tissues. The smartest defense against inflammation. And so noni, if you want to try one thing, try it. Put it to work and try it at least for 90 days. Okay? Because it is such a great inflammation factor that is a fighter, I recommend noni to everyone, but particularly to those who are at risk of diabetes or other inflammatory spurred diseases. So we need it. Yes, we do. I love noni because it gives energy. I can tell it's helping. Unfold the page here. Helping my joints. Oh, cool. And improving my flexibility. Also helps lower high blood pressure and diabetes. I am getting very good results from noni. And that's from Rosie Orts. And then Juanita Dearborn, I use noni every morning. It helps my blood sugar stabilize. No hypoglycemic problems as long as I take my noni juice. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know, one of the people that gave testimony about how bad things were in the beginning of Dr. Rodier's book was Tessa. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to tell you how bad it was. I'm going to tell you how good it is. And I think that's important. And what's the next chapter? This, if it's negative and you can make it a positive, why don't we do it? So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you and share with you Tessa's story after changing some diet. I tell you what, we might, if you come in to read this answer, ask one of the people that are waiting on you, do we still have a sample pack of the chlorophyll? And you can buy your bottle of water right there and put the chlorophyll in it, and see if it gets you excited about it as much as it does me. Okay, Tessa comments were, after struggling for 10 years, after struggling for years, unknowingly with diabetes, Tessa was desperate and ready for a change. Her diagnosis had come as a shock. It's tough to learn that you're not in control anymore. It's do or die, and your body has taken over. Tessa knew she had to do something to regain control because her health had always taken her a back seat to her family's needs, career demands, and stress of her life. But now, Tessa, plagued by weight gain, famine, insomnia, and depression. And those things I just read are some of the side effects of diabetes. And weight gain, fatigue, insomnia, and depression. She knew that she had to put the health first if she was going to survive or she was going to check out prematurely. Also, that Tessa's husband introduced her to a nutritionist. I didn't know you could use herbs for diabetes, Tessa says, but she was willing to listen. Tessa's skepticism was dismissed early as she met the nutritionist's daughter, a 29-year-old quadriplegic woman with multiple health problems. The young woman was given a grim prognosis at birth that she would die as a toddler. But using her vast knowledge of herbs and supplements, the girl's mother cared for her daughter, and today the daughter functions well and has a bright outlook. And Tessa says this: I thought that if natural supplements helped this woman, those problems were so great, why wouldn't it help me and my diabetes? Tessa and a nutritionist, they mapped out a comprehensive plan for Tessa that included chromium, blood sugar combination, and carbohydrate reduction combination, supplements, among others. Tessa saw improvement quickly. With the blood sugar combination, I definitely noticed that I craved fewer sweets and carbohydrates. It really balanced me and helped balance my glucose. And that made it so much easier to stay on my diet. She said, I didn't even know how much energy I was missing until I started taking the chromium with glucose tolerance factor. I took 1,000 milligrams per day, and I really saw my energy come back. I could I guess I'm supposed to turn the page. Do fast walking, 45 to 50 minutes a day, and I was losing weight steadily. Prior to this, Tessa admitted she had no exercise. She had to exercise, if she did, slowly and carefully to avoid dizziness and thirst that had always plagued her. She admits that her favorite supplement in the carbohydrate reduction combination. I was once on a diet that limited my carbs to 600 grams per day, she recalls. But now and then, I would enjoy bread and cheese, and my family specifically had a treat. I could take 2 tablets 10 to 15 minutes before a meal, and it really helped. The tablets are so friendly to my body that they don't even give me any bloating or jitters, and my blood sugar level helped out. Tessa cautions that this supplement isn't permission to double up on carbs, but is a helper and an aid and helps my feel-good control after eating carbohydrates. She also quickly learned the importance of buying top-quality supplements. She tried a few drugstore options and mail-order supplements before committing to her nutritionist product line. She'd been taking the cheaper brand and wasn't getting the benefits, so you just flush it and don't worry about it. So she remembers, but the cheapest products didn't work, and some even made her feel worse. Frankly, it made me skeptical to try my nutritionist products at first. I thought, I've already tried this stuff, but if it wasn't a good enough product to work in the body, then why not give it a chance with the good stuff? Tessa admits that her life with diabetes is still far from perfect. She's on prescription medication, but is gradually reducing the reliance on it with the approval of her doctor and with help from her supplements. I'm down to just 1 dose per day, she said, instead of 2. My goal is set off it forever. She always trying to watch and make sure she can do what she can do in the natural way. She says that learning about her natural alternatives has made a significant difference. The taking of supplements is more than taking pills. It's taking control. Tessa discovered that truth about diabetes in a day. She's actively working to take back her life and her health that she's learned what to do. Diabetes, real issue. But a lot of it is self-induced by just our diet. And we need to look into God's therapy of plants that have made it possible for us to have the best quality of life because it's God's way of doing it. I challenge you to give yourself the gift of love. And we've got so much going on that's robbing, stealing, and destroying our life, our health, and our joy. And I would say there's a song I really like, and you just may want to take in consideration. If not, just take the first line I'm going to say. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Let's walk in the Lord and have His strength. Love you guys. Take care. Come see us at Remedy This Naturally and think about God's remedy. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. May good health be yours naturally. You're worth it.
Silver has been effectively used for centuries because of its natural antibacterial properties. Today, it's used in thousands of consumer products, including medical products, fabrics, and supplements. Because silver has the highest electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, and reflectivity of any metal, it is very effective as a colloid, silver suspended in water. Common colloidal or ionic silvers contain positively charged silver ions that have the ability to steal an electron from the bacteria's cell membrane. If enough electrons are stripped, the cell membrane ruptures and the bacteria can no longer function. Although ionic silver is useful, this one-to-one electron exchange requires multiple applications or a high concentration of silver to achieve the effectiveness needed. Conversely, Silver Sol's unique nano-silver particle has a patented silver oxide coating, Ag404, that can steal thousands of electrons per particle, resulting in a continuous or catalytic action. In addition, we supercharge the nanoparticle with the same frequency as ultraviolet light, 890 to 910 terahertz. Although this UV light frequency is harmless to human tissue, it is highly destructive to bacteria, fungus, and yeast, and doesn't require direct physical contact in order to be effective. This powerful combination of silver oxide coating and resonant UV frequency multiplies the effectivity exponentially. In fact, Silver Sol at a concentration of 10 ppm is up to 3 times more effective than traditional colloidal, silver hydrosols, or ionic silver products containing up to 3,000 ppm. Best of all, Silver Sol is backed by 420 independent third-party studies, including 32 safety studies and 5 human ingestion studies. Unlike other silver products, Silver Sol won't harm probiotics, isn't metabolized in the body, and is safely excreted with no residual buildup. This means Silver Sol products can be safely used every day without the drawbacks of traditional silver colloids, hydrosols, and ionic silver products. Make Silver Sol your natural, safe, and effective solution.